All right. So I thought I'd do a quick update video. I just finished the trunk mod, and yeah, it looks like I could maybe get 2 bags of groceries standing up. Huh? Maybe. I don't know. There's also with IRS cars, there's this area here, and I've seen a couple things on the forums where people were able to put like another box there and get like a couple 6 packs of beer in there, or shoes if you're talking to your wife and she wants to put shoes in there. Anyways, so that is the current success for today. What I also have done, because I've been fighting with the fuel lines, mainly because I'm a little bit of an idiot and didn't really understand it properly, what I've got going on is the braided steel. I just pulled off, yeah, you can see it here, the send and return that came from the kit, and that's down there. Coming back around, and you probably can't quite see in there, but it's basically 6 anodized O6AN, however you want to say it. That I'll be running, and a good friend of mine is sending me tools to do it, so I am super thankful, Chris, for that, because that is totally awesome. Okay, so that is pretty much how the fuel system is sitting. I'm excited. The fittings I've already just temporarily put on there, and I can imagine it's like so close to being done. I'll show you over on don't look in the car, it's kind of dirty, but yeah, look, fittings, and they make sense. Ford uses these quick connect, which is kind of a misnomer. It's quick as long as you have this stupid plastic tool to make it quick. Not that I'm bitter about having to buy a tool to disconnect the quick connect. Anyways, so this part right here, it's kind of tough to see because they're both blue, but this is the quick disconnect. Oh, I can just take the fitting off. That'll give you a sense of, whoops, what I'm doing. That's what this guy looks like. If you come around the back, I gotta shake hands, but you can see there's kind of like a spring in there, and you need this little plastic thing that goes over that to disconnect it. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty secure. That's basically like Ford stuff, and then 6AN fitting, basically just screws right on there. And I've got the braided hose all set to go. Measured out. I got way more than I'll need, but that's good because I intend to make mistakes. So speaking of mistakes, here's where some of my setbacks have come, because everything has been fairly smooth until recently, and then it's just like I don't know what's going on, but I've been making mistakes. Oh, huh, interesting. There's something wet down there. I wonder what that could be. Fascinating. Should probably figure that out. But maybe, maybe it is brake fluid. That would be weird. Fascinating. Well, anyways, the brakes are basically need to be rerun. Oh yeah, this is totally leaking. So that actually gets me to what I'm talking about. I didn't think there was that much leaking out, but I guess there is. This fitting underneath here, pop around to here. Somehow I messed up the barb on it, and then I thought that I could just throw a zip tie on, and as soon as I put fluid in the system, I realized how dumb that was, because just testing the brakes, I'm not even going anywhere, just like putting my foot on the pedal basically caused this to start leaking all over the place. So that has to be, I already have the fitting, so I've just, I got to backtrack and take fluid out of the system and redo that. Once that is done, I also, up on, oh god, this is kind of a tangled mess, so it's tough to see, but let's see if you can kind of see that. There's 3 master cylinders. This one is for the clutch, the hydraulic clutch, which has not been hooked up, so there's nothing there, nothing from the reservoir, nothing in that. And then you basically have a master cylinder for the front, and this one's the master cylinder for the front, and this one's the master cylinder for the back. And here's a balancer beam or bar, whatever it is. But basically it lets you, depending on which way you do it or how much you thread these in, how long the push rods coming out are in relation to each other, allows you to adjust the brake bias. So you want to send more power to the front or rear, whatever. So basically, so you don't just like lock up your fronts and never have your rears, or even more dangerously, vice versa. But I jacked up the threads on this too. So that was kind of a major fail, and I've got another master cylinder because I'm replacing it because that is also leaking for a different reason. But yeah, this master cylinder is junk, and so that's like on the schedule of stuff that needs to be replaced. I still need to have the O2 sensors. They're the bungs welded into the headers, so that's kind of on deck. But I've got the O2 sensors. Up here, the upper intake is again just kind of sitting there. It turns out I actually did have the right hardware. It just was in a different box, so that's cool. I finally put oil in the engine, which is cool because there's like a fuel or oil level sender that isn't in this car, and that just needed to be plugged up. And let's see if you can see that. You're not gonna be able to see it, but trust me, it's a bolt. So once I got that in there, I could actually put oil in the car. I've got gear oil for the diff and ATF, apparently, Mercon something, for the transmission, so that's about to go in. I fixed the bippies on the fuel injectors, and that sucked because one of the old ones cracked and actually fell into the head, so I had to take the entire flipping head off to fish out the little piece of plastic, and then go through the entire process of, retightening it and then resetting the lash of the valves. So that's done. Again, that should be actually fairly permanent as far as those things go. I almost replaced the rail, but then I didn't, which is good because I keep breaking other things and needing to replace that. So fuel injectors are in, spark plugs are in. Getting close to being able to dress the front of the engine. I just realized that because I'm running a heater core, I finally figured out what there's 2 tubes. There's a send and return to the heater core. I don't know what, of all the things I didn't know, not knowing about the heater core is pretty dumb, but now I understand how the heater core works off of the coolant. So that's cool. Though, actually now as I'm thinking about it, I might need to pull maybe just the wires to the injectors to get that pipe runs right here, and the heater core will sit on there. So I might actually mock that up and get that at least sitting in here. I guess I'm gonna have to do that before I put coolant in the system. So getting there, wires are starting to go into the right place on the harness. That's starting to make a lot more sense the way that it's laid out. I've got the old starter sitting there. I imagine that I will eventually replace that, but I just can't justify it at this point. It looks kind of old and funky. Maybe I'll paint it. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just leave it sitting down there. Not really exactly too concerned about that at the moment. I think that about covers it. I'm gonna go see why that is leaking as intensely as it is, and I'll post this up on the web. Okay. Oh, actually, wait, hold on. One other thing. This one super sucks. I snapped off a bolt on here, aluminum head. Tried to extract it for a while. I basically just made it worse and worse and worse. So now I'm gonna learn how to tap a new thread in there. So that's exciting, I guess. Sort of, not really. Totally sucks actually. Yeah, that's the size of it. All right. This video is way too long already. I'll post another one once something else exciting happens. Okay, bye for now.